Yeah, so I want to talk about directed energy weapons because you hear a lot about this with the gang stalking phenomenon, and I'm listening to some people's interpretations of it. And when you're being like harassed, you really get shaken up. It disturbs you. There's good videos about like how traumatic it is, like physically, how psychologically damaging it really is, because you get in this like there's no safety mode, and your whole wellness is being destroyed. And it is clinically understood. They're doing it with that intent. And who's they? The ones doing it is they, obviously. These people are so scummy. When you say something like, they took my thing away. Who's they? Who's they? Like, you can't use the word they. That pronoun is, otherwise you're racist. Because they're like, I know what you're saying. You're talking about the Jews, right? That's like literally what these people are doing. Because they're so brainless in their dogmatic violence. They are very evil, these people. But, and believe it, the gang stalkers are very pro-Jew. They're very pro-Jew. It's a real thing to understand. These are like, they are a faithless, godless people, the gang stalkers. They claim to be Christians most of the time. Most of the time they claim to be Christians. Most of the time. People should understand that. That's what we're dealing with. But I want to talk about the directed energy weapons concept. Because what's going on with me, like I just lost my job. It was like, I lost the job before that. It was traumatic because I did everything I could to not lose my job. I was doing my job very well. I was getting along with all my coworkers. It was my managers who were getting upset with me because I was doing my job so well and I wasn't giving them any room to cancel me. So it was upsetting them. I was telling my coworkers, like, look how upset these guys are. I'm doing my job awesomely. I'm helping all my coworkers. I'm being very pleasant. And they're hating it. Look how they're scowling at me right now. It's like at the end of the shift. This is like them at the end of every day. I'm like, top of the line, and they're just getting angrier and angrier. And this is one day, like 10 minutes before the end of the day, he's like, clean up, stop working. Because I had the best numbers, and he was really upset. And then I finished my thing while I was cleaning up. He's like, you're not supposed to be finishing that, you're supposed to be cleaning. He like completely blows up on me. And his manager already explained to me, because it was a new protocol about like you gotta sign out of your job to do cleanup, and that's to improve your overall numbers. So you're not doing 8 hours of whatever job you're doing like 7.5 hours, because you're doing half-hour cleanup, so your numbers look better. But my numbers already are good. I don't need to be worried about that. And at that place, they didn't want me to know what my numbers were. They're trying to keep it hidden. Like, you're not supposed to be looking at that. Stop doing that. Like, what are you talking about? I want to know what my levels are. These are just very evil people. And this is our world we're living in. They just want evil to take over, and it's the age of the psychopath. They think the psychopath is the progressive human 2.0. That's really what's going on. Back to directed energy weapons, okay? So the trauma from losing my job was unexpected, and I was financially already, in problems. It wasn't just that I lost my job. I was also being attacked on the streets, and like all my properties being, destroyed. They do things to cost you money wherever they can. Because it's just powerful, rich people. They just watching you and going, what can we do to this guy? Oh, we can do this. Oh, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. And it's nonstop attack. I know, like, years ago, this scoundrel I knew, he was a Massachusetts person I grew up with. And he became a narcissistic, godless person. He thinks religious people are stupid and they're the cause of all problems, okay? And people like himself who are lazy and dishonest, who break their word all the time, they're blameless. Okay, so this is, that kind of describes like everybody I know from Massachusetts, by the way. Almost everybody I know from Massachusetts, that describes them. But he said to me, if you piss off the police, they can make sure that you could never have a vehicle running. And yeah, that's essentially what was going on. So like he was aware of that, and that's what was going. You know, my vehicles were being sabotaged constantly. These people sabotage everything. They sabotage my bicycle. That's how bad these people are. I got like 15 bikes stolen in about a year's time because they follow you around, and you can almost like, it's impossible for you not to prevent them from stealing your bike. And the police are working with them. So it's like, it's an incentive. They probably pay them to steal your bike. The police probably pay these guys to steal your bike. It just got to the point where, it doesn't matter. This is the scummy people. But back to directed energy weapons. The fact of the matter is that I was traumatized from losing my last job, and this job, having lost it, I was out of work for like 4 weeks. Then I just started working here, and I'm now out of a job again, and I'm financially ruined. I've been financially ruined my whole life. They're constantly attacking like my stability my entire life. No joke. The details are really extensive. I'm not imagining their harassment. They really do this, and finances are easy for the evil, complicit people. Just line up for your freaking mandate, and you get paid. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just line up with the program, they don't need people with intellect. These are the useful idiots, and it's not good for everybody because of the population of 8 billion people. But in America, you can be a complete sellout shill and do pretty well. And if you don't doing that, you're mentally ill. Believe it. That's the rhetoric, that's the policy. I don't think you're going to find a boomer who doesn't believe that nonsense. A boomer is like mindless animal. It's just a mindless animal. But directed energy weapons concept, I'm sure it happens. I know that once I had fallen asleep with my laptop on, or it was a computer. Yeah, it was a laptop. And I totally got sunburned from it. I was like, what the hell? That's not normal. Like, my arm was sunburned, and my face was sunburned. And I was like, what's that from? That's from the monitor of this freaking computer? That's crazy that it caused such a... I don't know if it was a laptop or if it was a LED screen. I don't remember, but I know it was from the computer screen. I was like, whoa, bro, I just totally got like a sunburn from a few hours of sleeping in front of this computer. That wasn't even that close. It was pretty close, but not that close. So I don't know. That's a type of, I think, a directed energy weapon. I think that was designed to be used if they need be, and it's probably something they abandoned, okay? Other directed energy weapons, I know during 2016, the smart meters at the projects, they were like frying you. I can be on a light rail, and I don't have to look out the window. I know we're near the projects because during that time, you're getting fried in the vicinity of the projects. It wasn't like that before, but during those months, it was like that. And you can get scratchy throat, and you feel weakened. Your cells are being perforated for bad reasons. That's directed energy weapons. But my point was this. The deep anxiety and depression, that is a heavy weight. It's not a directed energy weapon. It's just your spirit is being so attacked, okay, because you're being, just your health and wellness is not, by being harassed all the time, it's like a very significant burden. And, I've been meditating for a long time for health reasons, for 20-something years. I meditate all the time. But this is like, I need to meditate all day, every day, because this is a heavy, right now I feel it. It's just like a heavy weight. Like, I don't know if everyone's ever had, been dumped by somebody, your girlfriend dumped you, and suddenly your heart sinks. Like that feeling, that's not a directed energy weapon. That's just like an emotional, physical response. But that's the kind of feeling that I'm experiencing from this loss of job, the financial, insecurity, and all the other problems. Because it's like, it's a sick world, It's a sick world, and my person, I've had a privileged life by being an American. But by American standards, people would say, your life was pathetic. You had a horrible life. And it doesn't even seem like it, because people would just assume, it must be okay. You grew up in a rich suburb, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but like I had, emotional cruelty in my childhood. It was like, my brother and my sister, they have their birthdays celebrated on Christmas. They get all these gifts, but I don't get gifts. And it was kind of like, as a child, it was traumatic. Like the kids in school going like, "What'd you get for Christmas?" "Oh, you didn't get anything because you're a loser." Like that's like sucks. It's like, it didn't really bother me though. It really didn't bother me as a kid. I'm like, fuck these people. I didn't have any resentment towards the people either. I was just like, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I don't need any of that anyway. But like, when I was like 18, I left my house and I was like, oh, wow, things are so much better outside of that constant, like, emotional abuse. But still finding myself under the, as a civilian American, Westerner in America, you're being targeted by the satanic Sabbatean Frankists. They are, you have foreigners coming in here, everything's being handed to them. Meanwhile, they're just attacking you. You're a racist, xenophobe, terror of the world. You're the enemy of what's good. That's not true, but this is what the Sabbatean Frankists, as evil people, were like promulgating in society. So it's like, and the financial opportunities is not there. I was not able to go to college. And when I finally did go to college, they said, we don't want rational human beings, humane beings. We want progressives. We want psychopathic progressives to be the only people in the college. And that's not like a minor thing, because they did roll out their medical tyranny in the college, where they had the vaccines matched to each student. And I'm like, this is dubious. And the person who's giving them out was like, yeah, it does seem dubious. And immediately I had like destroyed immune system from the shot. I got a chilled feeling for like 3 days. Like I was sick. I was like, what the hell is this? I got this like bone aching chill. And then my immune system was shut down. And I was getting arthritis and autoimmune disease and lots of other things. I'm sure some kind of spike protein, nanotech, something's going on. Some like funky strangeness. I know something Alex Jones mentioned, like crystals coming out of you. That's what had happened. I'm like, I don't know what these fucking crystals are, but it's not good. It's probably some kind of, GMO, nanotech bullshit that you're it's not healthy. And my health was compromised ever since. And now it's like, I do a lot of meditation. But anyway, directed energy weapons, like that heavy weight, it's not a directed energy weapon. It is just, serious gloom. It's just bad things do affect people. We're human beings. That's the religiously profane, or it's like, you're blaspheming the Holy Spirit. If you're sad or depressed, you're not really, happy and celebratory, you are blaspheming the Holy Spirit. No, that's not true. This is actually just like years of abuse is significant. You're like, when is my time going to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, I've been, working for poverty. I used to work 80 hours to live in poverty, and then to see, like, my mind was always, I will find success in, because I don't need too much to be successful, but in the opulence of our society, and I'll just do good things. My reputation should sustain me. But see, that's my thing. My reputation should sustain me by doing good things. But here they're attacking your reputation. So at work, it's not only they're just keeping you from work, they're telling people that you're the problem. You're doing something wrong. You don't know, you're incompetent. All lies, and this is what they do. And so that's like it's not a directed energy weapon. It's just like, your soul is being, vanquished by the world's people, because you're not acquiescing to their mentality. And really what's going on is like, it's a synthetic world. So if you were just to lose any kind of consciousness, you kind of form into this like unified nothingness. You're a soul. You gain the world, but lose your soul. See, that's the kind of thing that they want of you. And who's they? The ones who want that of you. That is obviously the they. and the people who are harassing you and lying and cheating and, you know, saying, you must forgive me for me doing this to you because this is your shadow and your manifestation with your lack of understanding. Believe it, that's New Age worldview. It's just the satanic people in this created world giving you lies. That's not what the scripture tells. So a person like myself who had walked as a human rationalist, okay, you know, I tried to do well, not perfect, you know, not to lie, cheat, steal, to have empathy, to have sympathy, and it's like, seriously, like the slander is profane, but the fact of the matter is that people don't have empathy, and they claim that they are the ones who are empathetic because they are nihilistic narcissists. And if I don't accept their nihilism and their narcissism and their insatiable egos, I am lacking empathy. That's how they look at it. And these are violent people. So if you trigger them or offend them, they will attack you and claim that it's your lack of empathy for not knowing that you triggered a psychopath. You know, how dare you trigger a psychopath? That's your lack of empathy. This is how their worldview is. That's the Democrat worldview. All the Democrats online talk about narcissism. That's what they're talking about. Is, hey, if you trigger a psychopath, that's your lack of empathy. Because they'll twist words around and flip-flop and this and that, and believe it. As a rational, humane being, you know, from a holy position, they're saying, hey, no, you're a sinner. Don't you understand? You're a sinner. You need to accept Satan as Lord and Master, and that's, you know, worshiping the beast. Otherwise, you're a sinner. And you're going like, wait, sir, doctor, whoever, yeah, you're full of baloney. What are you criminalizing me for? You know what I'm saying? What are they criminalizing me for?